Hello, everyone. How are you today? I'm Kelly Lee Sappenfield, and we are talking. Hi, everyone. How are you today? I'm Kelly Lee Sappenfield, and today we're going to talk about intuition. But first, let me just introduce myself. As I said, I'm Kelly Lee Sappenfield. I'm a fifth generation metaphysician, spiritual teacher, soul evolution coach, author, and speaker. And today I really want to talk to you about the clairsenses. What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses when it comes to them and developing your intuition? But first, I have a couple announcements. On June 27th and 28th, I will be speaking via Zoom for East West Bookstore in Mountain View, California. But since it's going to be on Zoom, you can join us from anywhere in the world. And you just go to eastwestbooks.org, click on their event page, scroll down to June 27th and 28th, and you can sign up, excuse me, for either my talk on the 27th about you don't have to die to transform and my near-death experience, or you can sign up for the 28th soul vibration and the evolutionary path of your soul, where I not only teach you about the different levels of conscious vibration of our souls, but also how that affects how we communicate and how we love one another. Plus, as a special deal, you can sign up for a spiritual power hour session with me for a very special cost. So like I said, go to eastwestbooks.org and you can sign up for those events. But today, let's talk about intuition. What it is, how, and the different areas of it and how it presents itself. And we all have strengths and weaknesses when it comes to the different clairsenses. And you think about senses. Most of us grow up learning about our five senses: seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, right? But not all of us grow up learning about our clairsenses, or as my father would say, our divine senses. And the clairsenses are our intuition. It's how we get those intuitive hits. It's how we hear spirit talking to us. It's how we know this is a good thing to do, not so good thing to do. Hey, jump on this, right? Ooh, that's not a person I think I really want to get to know, right? So there are different clairsenses. And like I said, all of us have one that's predominant, that we have unconsciously used our entire lives. But we have the ability to enhance and use all of them, okay? Just because you have one that's predominant doesn't mean that you can't have the others. You do have the others. But think of your intuition as like a muscle. If you didn't go to the gym, okay, I'll just use my age, I'm 50. If you didn't go to the gym for 50 years and you went and started to work out, your muscles are kind of weak, right? Some of them may be atrophied. And it's going to take a while to build those muscles up. Well, it's the same with your intuition. With your intuition, think of it like your mind muscle. It has to be worked. It has to be treated and respected and used like you would use a leg weight machine in the gym so that it gets stronger, right? So there's clairvoyance, which is, clair means clear, okay? So clear seeing. You see things. It's like a video game or a video feed going off in front of your eyes, or out of the corner of your eye, you see a figure, or you see an orb, or you see like dust, sparkly dust in the air, right? You see something. And sometimes it's in your mind's eye, and sometimes it's literally you think you turn around and look because you think there was something there, right? Clear seeing is just that. It's seeing. And it can be either in your mind's eye or visually seen. Clairaudience is clear hearing. And that's when You might say to someone, did you just hear that? And they'll be like, no, you didn't just hear someone talking. You didn't just hear, an alarm bell go off or whatever it is. No one else heard it, but you heard it. Or high pitched ringing in your ears. A lot of times when people hear a high pitched ringing in their ears, it's their spirits and guides talking to them, but they're talking at such a frequency that all you're hearing is that high pitched tone in your ears, right? Excuse me, let me get a drink of water. So you're hearing that high pitched tone in your ears, and you need to say, you know what? I know you're trying to communicate with me, but I can't understand what you're saying because all I'm hearing is this high pitched tone. Can you communicate it to me in a way that I will know it and understand it and hear it? Thank you, please. And you'll find that you'll get messages in other forms when you do that, if all you're doing is hearing that high pitched in your ears. The clairaudience is clear hearing. Clairsentience is clear feeling. You've got that knot in your gut, your muscle all of a sudden cramped up, you got a chill, or all of a sudden it's like you've got a hot flash, or you just feel like creepy crawlies all over your skin. It doesn't matter how you feel it, but you feel it somewhere in your body. You're feeling something, okay? A lot of times, especially when I was a teenager, and I'll tattle on myself here, and I was going and doing something I shouldn't have been doing, right? About halfway into it, I'd always look at my best girlfriend at the time, and I'd say, we're going to get caught. I know it. I can feel it in my gut. And she used to always get so mad at me because she was like, why didn't you say this before we even started? Before we even went someplace, before we even did something, right? And I was a teenager. I had not really took the time to work on developing my clairsenses because I was a teenager, right? And so they would just come and go at will, not purposely using them. And she would always get so mad at me because if I ever said that, sure enough, we'd get caught and we'd get in trouble, right? Claircognizance is clear knowing. You know something. You know it beyond a shadow of a doubt. There's no rhyme or reason why you know it. You just know it, right? When your claircognizance is your predominant clairsense, you will just know things. You will know something's going to happen. You will know someone was going to say something. You will know whatever the situation is. Now, I want you to think about, and there's other clear senses, clear smelling and clear tasting. My father always smoked a pipe, and he had a special pipe tobacco specifically formulated for him. And I will smell his pipe smoke. Now, he passed over the veil in 1993, but there are still some times that I will clearly smell his pipe smoke. My husband will, or when my mother was passing away in the hospital, one time when the nurses come in and she was like, who's been smoking in this room? There's no smoking in the hospital. And my mom and I just started dying laughing because it was my dad's pipe smoke she was smelling. And my mom just looked at the nurse and she goes, well, you have to talk to George because, I have no control over what he does. And she's like, well, where is he? I'll go talk to him right now. And well, he passed over in 1993 and it's 2011. So I guess unless you're not a medium, maybe you need to go find a medium to talk to him to tell him he's no longer allowed to smoke in the hospital. And we laughed and laughed and laughed. That's clear smelling. Okay, clear tasting is maybe you get a taste in your mouth. Maybe it's a bad taste, like ooh, something's rotten, something's bad, something doesn't taste good. And if you don't know what your predominant clear sense is in using your intuition, ask people to start telling you what you say. Oh, I saw that was going to happen. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Oh, I smelled that the other day and I knew something bad was getting ready to happen. Oh, I heard that was going to happen. Oh, I saw or I felt, whatever it is, what your language is will tell you what your predominant clairsense is. So the first key in developing your intuition and growing that muscle is knowing what your predominant sense is. Hi, Bob, and I'm sorry, TC Kamal. I'm sure I just totally butchered your name. I am so sorry, but hello. Please forgive me for butchering your name. But think about it. Think about your language, and if you don't know the answer to that question, ask the people around you. They will tell you. But find out and figure out what that main clairsense is. And then I really want you to start paying attention to it. I really want you to start, as you're driving down a road, if all of a sudden you have a feeling you need to take a different route, take the different route. Don't question it. Don't say, well, that's stupid. That's way out of my way. Why would I go down that road? Just do it. So when you start getting those hits, whether it's you have a feeling, whether you just know it, oh, I know I need to move my car, even though it's parked in your garage and you're like, I know I need to move my car, go out and move it. Sometimes you'll know why you got that hit. Sometimes you won't know why you got that hit. Part of the time, Spirit's just seeing, are you listening? Are you acting on your hits? Are you consciously developing your intuition muscles? Because then as you start those baby steps of, as soon as you get that hit, acting on it, whether it makes sense or not, acting on it, then you get clearer and clearer and clearer messages. Then, once you start really working on your predominant clairsense, a lot of us have a clairsense that we really want to be able to have. And it's not that you don't have it, like I said before, it's just that it's atrophied. And so you've got to start building that muscle. You've got to start saying, okay, Spirit, I can feel things, but maybe I want to see things, or maybe I want to know things. And start asking Spirit to help you develop that clairsense. Show me the way. Show me how to see. I want to see things. Show me how to focus in by unfocusing so that I can see things more clearly. And what do I mean by that? Have you ever taken your eyes out of focus to where you see like the dust in the air? And then you can see the dust specifically move in different ways in the air because you've taken your eyes out of focus. The more you can take your eyes out of focus on your perceived reality, the more you'll be able to see all of reality. The more you'll be able to see the energy of things. The more you'll be able to see the orb in a corner or the bird coming by that is a sign for you that maybe there's not really a bird, but that energy of that bird is flying by you so you can see it, right? Maybe you want to start hearing things. And this does not in any way, shape, or form have anything to do with any psychosis. They are two totally different things. You can see, hear, smell, taste, everything in a clairsense, and there is nothing mentally wrong with you. This is not back in the 1800s and 1700s when we'd say people were crazy because they could see and hear things. There's completely difference. There is a mental disability, and then there's your intuition. A mental disability could have you self-harm or harm others or do things that are not in your highest good, clearly not in your highest good. Give you suicidal thoughts, for instance. That is not your clairsenses. Your clairsenses will never, ever, ever, ever be a negative. Because when the divine and spirit talks to you, it's always a positive. It's always in your best interest. It's always for your highest good. For instance, almost 30 years ago now, we were visiting my husband's grandmother. And my husband is like, oh, I want to take you up on the Appalachian Trail. And because I never been up on it. And she lived right by it. And we start driving along the Appalachian Trail. And all of a sudden, I see this old soldier start walking across the street with very negative energy and very menacing attitude. And I'm screaming practically at my husband, stop the car, turn around now. And why? And he's going, why? And I'm like, because that man in the road. And he's like, what man in the road? You know, he couldn't see him. He couldn't feel the energy, but I did. And I knew, don't go any further down that trail. Now, it could be that a tree limb had fallen on the road. It could have been nothing as far as I would have known at that time. But Spirit was clearly saying, don't go any farther. Turn around. This is not a good place for you to be. And so when you listen and you do that, okay, our little trip down Appalachian Trail's over. We're turning around. We're going back. And you do it, then you're listening. And when you listen, Spirit knows you're listening. And Spirit will enhance your experiences. And when you work with Spirit one-on-one and say, or with someone who it will help you seriously learn and coach you one-on-one personal basis to really develop your intuition. And it doesn't mean necessarily you're going to become a psychic medium and go out and that's your career. You will use your intuition every single day for everything, even if it's what apple to pick up at the grocery store as opposed to another apple, or it's what car to buy. Even though both of them are the exact same car, when your intuition will tell you, buy this one, not that one. Your intuition will tell you when you meet someone that supposedly is supposed to be this great, wonderful human being, and you're going, no. Nice to meet you. It's not as though you, oh my gosh, stay away. But you're like, nice to meet you. You're polite and everything, but you don't, as you otherwise would have maybe formed a relationship with that person that would have ended up being a not so good and not so serving relationship, right? Your intuition will tell you what moves to make in your business, in your career. Your intuition will tell you what to do for your health. Someone may say, take turmeric, take turmeric, take turmeric. And your intuition is like, if I take turmeric, it may not be good for me. Just because turmeric is in general good, it's not good for every single person on the planet, right? So your intuition says, I don't think I should take that. Listen to it. Don't just say, oh, but everyone says I have to take turmeric, so I'm going to take turmeric. And then you take a turmeric vitamin pill and you have a massive allergic reaction to it, right? So your intuition will always be there to serve you. Always, 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 always. There is no question that the more you develop that muscle, that mind muscle, and you have to remember your mind is not a physical thing. Your brain is, but your mind is not a physical thing. And this is your mind's muscle. This is your energetic body's muscle. The more you work it, the more you pay attention to whatever clairsense is coming up, and the more you act on it, the stronger they get. And the stronger they get, the more easily you can navigate life because you're like, okay, I want to do that. Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go for this. And everyone around you is going, why in the world are you doing this? I just know I have to. Right? So listen and listen and listen to your clairsenses because that is your intuition. That is your divine senses. Pay attention to your divine senses first, your human senses second. Because if you're at a restaurant and all of a sudden you're like, I got this terrible taste in my mouth. I don't know what's going on. Let me try to drink some water. It's not going away. What's going on? And maybe your divine senses are saying, maybe you shouldn't eat here, right? You can't see what's in that kitchen. So think about all the different ways that your clairsenses had told you to do something or not to do something, and you ignored them. And then you live to regret it. I knew I shouldn't have done that. Right? Oh, I had a feeling about that one. I just did not see that working out well. I didn't hear good things about that. And start really paying attention to that language because that's the language your mind is speaking when it comes to your intuition, when it comes to your clairsenses. And it's screaming at you basically. Pay attention. You're always talking about not feeling well about something, but whenever you don't feel well about something, you ignore it. Stop ignoring it. Start paying attention. And when you pay attention, that's when things start going more smoothly. Oh my gosh, I had this weird idea to make a right-hand turn on the road, even though it was going to take me out of the way. But you know what I heard later on this evening? There was a massive crash about a mile down the road from where I was. And if I'd stayed where I was, I'd have been stuck in traffic for God knows how long. Right? And little tricks you can do. I know we're not out and about a lot right now, but little tricks you can do is intuition. Tell me what aisle to drive down in the parking lot so I get the best parking spot. Intuition. Tell me where I should go on vacation. Show me the signs. Intuition. I'm really thinking about buying a new car. Let me know when I find the right one. Or a new sofa, or a new TV, or whatever it is. You don't have to use it on the big life-altering things to start with, especially when your muscle hasn't been used in who knows how long. Start it off on using it on the little things. That way it's not so scary for you to, okay, I'm going to trust my intuition. My intuition keeps telling me this is the TV to buy. So this is the TV I'm going to buy. It doesn't matter what Consumer Reports says. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. This is the TV I'm going to buy because this is the one that I just know I should buy. Right? Start off on those little bitty things. And the more you do it, the stronger it gets. And the more you do it, the more spirit talks to you to where you can know it's spirit talking to you. You know it's your intuition. You know that that is your divine sense, not your human sense. Because your divine gut feeling is completely different than I've got an upset stomach or I've got the stomach flu. Your divine seeing is completely different than seeing through your human eyes. Your divine hearing is different. You know, you get those ideas, it's like someone whispering in your ear, or you get that, just that knowing that this is what you need to do or this is what you shouldn't do. Follow those, and you'll start seeing not only things clicking in place a lot easier in your life, but you'll also start noticing that those senses are getting stronger. So once again, your intuition is your divine communication energetically with the divine, with spirit, with your guides, with your angels, with the masters, everybody. So develop your divine senses, and your communication skills will immensely increase and your life will run so much more smoothly. But first, pay attention to how you speak. Zero in on what your predominant clairsense is. Second, really focus on building that muscle in your mind. Build that energetic muscle of that clairsense. Then start out saying, you know what? I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to broaden my horizon. I want to develop this clairsense stronger. I want to develop this clairsense stronger. And you go down the line, and slowly but surely you go down the line and you develop all your clairsenses, and your life then just, you know it and it clicks, and everything is so much smoother even when you're going through those tough times, because you're following your divine sense, which is always going to lead you on your best pathway. If you're really wanting to grow your intuition and develop your intuition, and you need help, there's nothing wrong with that. Seek help. PM me in Messenger, and I will refer you to people that they do that one-on-one with people all the time so that they can develop their intuition to the best of their ability and live a more productive, eventful, and easier life. But seriously, start listening by how you speak, because how you speak is how the divine is telling you is your predominant sense. I hope this helped. I hope you start exercising those mind muscles and you start developing and growing your intuition and you start developing your clairsenses. And I would love to hear your ahas, your what your clairsense is, what clairsense you really want to develop, right? And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to email me, private message me here on Facebook or anywhere else on all my other social media channels. And if you want a free complimentary 30-minute soul session with me, all you have to do is go to the link I'm going to post in the comment section, click on it and book it. It's totally complimentary. All you have to do is, like I said, click on it and we'll have 30 minutes and I can help you, whether it's through your intuition or any other area of your life. I really do hope this helps. I really do hope you start really developing those muscles because they're so important. I I don't know how I would survive without them, because I use my intuition all the time. I don't do anything without using my intuition. When I coach somebody, I'm using my intuition to help them do the best that's for them, not the best that's just general. This is a general practice. No, when I coach people one on one, I'm like, this is what you need because my intuition tells me this is what you personally need, not this great generalization of what, well, this is what most people need, right? And I want you to be able to develop that for yourself. So you know, this is what I need, regardless of what the quote unquote norms are, right? Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. And in the meantime, always expect miracles. Take care.